Hello everyone, Samaritxn here, and today I'm bringing you a brand new video, but before I get into the topic at hand, I do want to apologize for my lack of uploads. I have started the new year, this is my senior year, so I'm trying to really focus in, but, I just wasn't prepared for the week. I thought that I'd be able to manage it, but with the classes that I'm taking, they're already, like, jumping into homework, quizzes. I have a test in, like, a week, so I've been like really just caught up in schoolwork as well as practice for this LAN event. But hopefully, my idea is to just grind videos during the weekend and then have them edited and scheduled to upload throughout the week. So it's not going to be a daily upload, but hopefully, 3 to 4 videos a week. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get into the video. So I actually got this idea from someone in Cole's stream not too long ago as we were playing Halo 3, and basically they were asking like what were the things that they had to like look out for as they were changing from CoD to Halo, and immediately like they started referring to me because I'm the only one who's made that switch in CX. Everyone else has been playing Halo. They never made a switch over. I mean, Cole made a switch from Halo to COD, so if you ever have those questions, then you can ask him about that. But all right, so I started playing competitive Call of Duty. So basically, whenever I started getting good at Call of Duty in late Black Ops 2, and that was because of my good friend Badger, CX Badger. He introduced me to Nade Shot, which then brought me into the competitive scene. And from there on, I was like, oh my god, I love this. I'm going to be all about this. So I had to start developing some habits, and there was different meta in COD that I couldn't exactly take into Halo. So the first thing is challenging whenever I was weak. So the time to kill in Call of Duty is really small. If you're at a pro caliber, it's going to be 3 shots with a SMG and like 3 shots with an AR, depending on which one it is. Uh, so you're gonna die really really fast. So in Halo, I couldn't exactly do that. Another thing that COD players kind of depend on, they heavily depend on actually, is their internet connection. If they're hosting, it's like you take an extra 2 bullets if you're host, or you kill an extra 2 bullets faster. And anyone who's played COD can completely attest to that. That is a huge factor. And that's something that you can't really depend on in Halo, especially in Halo 5 where there's dedicated servers. No one really has like the upper hand, unless you're like really kind of far away and you're playing against EU guys. Then you're always gonna have a problem with that because of just how much distance there is. And uh, another thing that was a habit that I had to break was the idea of a role. And what I mean by that is in COD there are objective players, anchors, slayers, and those are the 3 major roles. And support slayers or support OBJ players. Just a support player. I'll just put it as that because that's what it is. So a slayer would just go out, kill anything that they need, kind of like push out spawns. And the anchor, who is the opposite of the slayer, would hold down spawns for their team, give them the best possible spawn for the objective, and just that's what they needed to do. They're mostly AR players. They would usually have an assault rifle to hold it down because it was more of a long range kind of thing. Objective players obviously played the objective. That was all that they were about. And last is a support player, which is someone who can do everything. That they can slay whenever they need to slay and like help the slayer. They'll help the objective player. They'll help the anchor. They're just there to help. Uh, so those were things I couldn't really take into COD, or not my fault, into Halo. Those were things in COD that I couldn't take into Halo, and throughout my Halo transition, I had a lot of problems with those. Um, just because I would be one shot in Halo. The guy would be I would have a burst on him because I was playing Halo 3 at the time. And since I have that COD mentality where I'm like, "Oh, I'm weak, I can still turn on this guy." I didn't have the shot developed to do that, and plus in Halo, you really need to play your life more. So that's one thing that you need to make a habit of is playing your life more. And some things that can help you with that is just learning jumps on the map. That was something that I had a huge problem with off the rip, and I'm very grateful that I had someone to really teach me them. So learning jumps on maps that are competitive or just any map are going to be things that get you out of a really tough situation. So if you're one shot, uh, you can make a jump and just be clear away from them. And say that you want to get to objective faster, you can make a jump and get to that flag faster, or get to that strong point or stronghold point a little bit faster, or cap a little bit faster. It's those small details that really make that game. Um, other things, another thing that was just a completely new thing to me from COD to Halo was strafe. In COD, you didn't really worry about strafe. It was really just make sure that you're aiming at their body and you'll get the kill. And make sure you shoot first. It was very reaction time based. But in Halo, there's the crouch strafe. You can jump in the air and thrust. Whenever you jump in the air, you have to crouch in midair. That way, your body's smaller. And though crouching in air is like a huge crouching while you're jumping is a huge part of jumps as well, because you can get higher into the air and make a jump. So like just strafing was something that I really had to make a habit of. And if you need to learn things about strafing, I know Cole has videos on that, and his link is always in the description below, as well as all the other Chaotix members. So if you want to check them out, make sure that you do. Uh, so in COD, I didn't really have to have my gun head height. And what I mean by that is that the reticle was like if someone were to turn the corner, it would already be aimed on their head. And in Halo, that's a huge thing because the fastest time to kill is by hitting them in the head at least once. So hit them in the head once, hit them four in the body, or I think it's the last shot has to be in the head. I may be wrong, but the main thing is that you want to aim for the head. The body won't get you very far. You want to make sure that those shots are hitting their head. Where in COD, you didn't really have to worry about that. You just had to make sure that you were hitting like upper body. That way you get the most damage out. And really, the only time you had to worry about upper body was if you had a snipe in your hand. Other than that, you really could just aim at their torso area, and you would really get a kill. You could shoot a person in the toe, and they die in like 3 shots still. So where your placement was on their body didn't really matter. And like whenever I started playing Halo, I was like, oh, I'll just shoot them in the body. It's like, nope, that takes way too long. So that's something you really need to make a habit of. And with that also comes, just talking about shooting and kind of weapons. I want to talk about power weapons. That's something that is completely different from COD. Like the sniper rifle in Halo is a power weapon, but that's something that you can use for a creative class in Call of Duty. So everyone's using the same gun off the rip. Not like two people are using like an AR and two people are using an SMG. In Halo 5, everyone is starting off with a pistol and an AR. So I think that's really cool. Everyone's put on a straight playing field, and that's something that I kind of have a gripe about in Call of Duty now is that it's now like there's the ban and protect system. Like it's working out well for itself now, but I just personally don't agree with it. I think you're really nerfing the player, and if it was a real problem, it should be up to the pros to make that decision, not make that decision every other game. So that's just a little gripe that I have. With power weapons also come power ups. Now all these things are on a timer. Now before Halo 4, I think also had it, but in past Halos, you didn't have a timer that would like tell you 30 seconds beforehand when a power up was coming or a power weapon was coming up. You always had to time it. For the sniper, it would come up every 3 minutes. So you'd pick it up, wait 3 minutes, and whenever that 3 minutes is up, you want to be near that sniper. And all the other ones were basically on 2 minute timers. So make it a point to know where the power weapons are and make sure to time them. Another thing that comes with timing are the power ups, invis, camo. Uh, some uh, there's no other power ups on any other competitive maps or any maps in general, but those are the two main ones. So uh, those aren't on a timer. They won't tell you when it comes up. Uh, you have to time them yourself. So if you pick up uh, camo at 7:52, the next time it will be up is 5:52, and you have to keep that in your head and make sure you convey that to your team. So looking at the clock and just knowing like where you, like kind of where you are on the map is something that you definitely need to keep in mind at all times. And the last thing that really is probably the biggest difference from CoD to Halo is team shotting. Now, in CoD, it's a lot about winning your one-on-ones. You just have to win the gunfight that's in front of you, and you don't have to worry about like a teammate trying to help you out. But in Halo, it's like pros see it as not the best thing for people to be getting perfect kills on a map, because what that means is that you're challenging something by yourself, and challenging by yourself isn't a good thing. You should always have someone that's going to be able to help you out in a gunfight, and that's a lot of teamwork. It's like shooting together as well as moving around the map together, where in COD it's a lot of just moving around the map together. So that's something that you want to make a point of, is just if your teammate calls out they're shooting at someone and you have no one to look at, make sure that you look at that person and try to get some shots on them if you're able to. And I think that that's really it for things that I really had to change as far as my playstyle from Call of Duty to Halo. So that's gonna be it, guys. Uh, Thank you so much for the support that I've gotten while I was gone. I jumped up quite a bit of subscribers, which I was really surprised about since I had a lack of videos. And yeah, that's gonna be it. And I will see you guys in the next one.